Hi, I'm Jason. I'm with Tom's Thumbs Car Wash. Today we're going to do a headlight restoration. I'm just going to walk over a couple steps of what it involves and how long it takes. And I'm going to get started right now. Headlight restoration is important because if you're driving at night with foggy lenses, your light can't get through the lens and you're not going to get much light on the road, so your visibility is going to be poor. Before cleaning your lenses so it's as clear as possible so you can get the most light on the road and your visibility is as best as possible. Before they get to this point, if you just put a nice healthy coat of wax and polish on them every now and then when you do your car, they should stay fine. But if they get to this point, we can still bring them back. It just takes a little bit of sandpaper and we kind of scuff off this top layer of burnt out plastic. And we start out with just some body shine to get it all lubricated to rub the sandpaper off. And we usually start with a 1500 to 2000 grit, so not too rough, nothing that's going to really do any harsh damage to the surface of it. And all this yellow actually coming off is the fogginess you're seeing in the light, so once it gets all polished up it's going to look nice and clear again. And this was actually all the stuff blocking the light from getting through the lens. This will be the next step of the process. This is actually a DeWalt buffer, and most people get buffers and polishers confused. A buffer is going to spin and a polisher will vibrate. This is from ProGrade. It's our super cutting compound. It has, if you rub it, if you put this in your fingers and you rub it, it's going to be the grittiest texture we have. So basically it's going to cut into all these scratches I put in here and make it look smooth and clear again. And basically just like to put it on. Rub it in areas I want to polish. I'm going to start at the lower speed and then I'll move up. Sometimes you do get a little flinging, that's why it's good to start at the lower speeds. Work the product in. And the product I'm using is okay for the paint as well, so it's no worries there. It's actually just going to make that areas look better than I got on the paint. Next step with the headlight restoration is we're going to go ahead and just put a nice layer of polish and wax on it. And these are just our pad systems that we have. And we go with color, but the harder the pad, the more cutting compound it's going to do. And this is our stiffest pad, and you can tell, I mean, it's pretty stiff. And then we'll go over here to the yellow one, and it gets a little softer. So I'll do a little more shining instead of cutting into the plastic. And then this one will be our softest one. It's almost just, you know, something you could wipe makeup on your face with. It's just really gentle on the surface. This is our dual cyclone polisher. It is a dual head system with two pads, and how the other high-speed buffer I explained spins, this one just vibrates. So if you're basically hand waxing a car, this is the same thing, just a lot more consistent. Using today, it's a cleaning. It's a one-step cleaning solution. It actually has a carnauba wax mixed in with it. So I'm just going to apply some of it to the pads here. And then always make sure you want to rub it on real good, because if you just put it on and you start the thing up, it would kind of fling out a little bit, so it just creates less of a mess. Now that I got it kind of spread out a little better, just go to town with it again. This one also, it doesn't have an adjustable speed, so once you turn it on, the speed it's set at is the speed it has. Just taking the extra of the product off now after it's dried for a few minutes. And the point of this process was basically just to put an extra layer of UV protection on the surface of the headlight so the sun doesn't damage it as much. And on a new car, if you consistently do this every time you wax your car, just make sure you also put some wax or polish or whatever you're doing to the surface of the paint on your headlights also. You really should never have a problem as long as you maintain the car from day one. But as you see, if you don't have that much time on your hands, you can bring it in and we can still bring it back to that showroom quality as best as possible. Well, when you don't keep your car in a covered area out of the sun and it stays in the sun all day, you're going to get a lot of this discoloring, cloudiness, and right over here where it's actually become burnt too. from the sunlight. This is the finished result of one of the headlight restorations. This one took about 35 minutes, and its starting cost is around $29 per headlight. This is a drastic improvement over the other one, so this will let out at least 50% more light than